All right, so we're getting into the world of angles here. So right in front of you, you've got a pair of complementary angles. And we talked about how two angles that are complementary add up to 90 degrees because complementing is the right thing to do, and right angles are 90 degrees. So the trick here is we want to figure out what x equals. So we can see the letter x is located right here. So we know between these two it's going to equal 90. So 90 minus 80 would give us our leftover. So in this case, it is just 10 degrees. Another one, so this is another 90-degree angle. So we're going to do 90 minus 11, and that will give us our leftover, which is 89 degrees. Very easy. You just take what's there, subtract the angle that is not the variable. For this one, these are supplementary angles. Supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees or make a straight line. So we will do 180 minus 115. So if you do 180 minus 115, you will simply borrow 65 degrees is your other angle. For this next one, once again, we take our 180, we subtract the 37, and you have to borrow, so you'll get 10 minus 7 is 3, 7 minus 3 is 4 with a 1, so 143 degrees is the other angle. So complementaries add up to 90, supplementaries add up to 180. We're going to talk about vertical and adjacent angles. Vertical angles are directly across from one another. So, for example, if I take this angle, EBA, which I've written in green, right across from it is a vertical angle, which is DBC. So those two are right across from one another, and actually their angles are going to be equal. So I make blue lines like that to represent that those angles are equal. So when we list them, I'd put a little angle symbol, ABE, and angle DBC. So again, A to B to E, D to B to C. Notice how when I name them, I go in that exact order. I don't jump around. I go A to B to E. The middle letter is called the vertex, and that is very important that you have that in the middle. So this is one possible scenario. Another possible one is E to B to C. So E to B to C. And then angle A to B to D. So vertical angles are right across from one another. Now if we get into adjacent angles are a little bit different. So let me go ahead and erase all this. Didn't want to do that. Let's go ahead and undo. Alright, so let's talk about adjacent angles. Adjacent angles are right next to each other. So there's multiple adjacent angles here. The ones I'm going to focus on is if I look at E, B, and then C. So angle EBC, and this is a B right here. That's a C. So what angle is right next to it? Well, the angle that is right next to it, one of them is CBD. And they're considered adjacent because they share a leg. They share one of the rays, actually. So if they share one of the same lines, they're considered to be adjacent. And also, you notice this specific one forms a straight angle, or supplementary, because its combined angle total is 180 degrees. So let's look at these. So there's a lot of vertical angles here. I'm going to point out a couple of them. So we could say, let's change the color here. So we'll say, alright, so we'll say right here, DGC is going to be vertical to AGF. So we would write that as AGF. And angle CGD. So that's one possible because they are directly across from one another. And actually looking at this, that's the only vertical angles they're going to have. Now, we can pick some other angles that would be adjacent. So there's a lot of them here. The one I'm going to pick is EGD. And that's going to be adjacent to DGC. And again, they share the same ray. So if you notice in the letters down here, both angles share 2 of the 3 same letters. And that's because they're sharing the same ray. So they're each sharing GD. So it's very important that they both have 2 of the 3 same letters. In Schoology, you're going to want to make sure you click all that apply. So it's going to ask you a question. It's going to give you multiple answers. You have to make sure you click all that apply. Once we get in, you have to kind of understand these foundations here before we move forward with the more difficult ones with composite angles. So this may seem pretty simple. I promise you it's going to get a little bit more challenging. If you got questions, see me. Well, see you later. Bye.